I don't give a love to fuck about what them bitches gotta say. I'm a woman West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a love to fuck about what them niggas gotta say. I'm a woman West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's a Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm really no man, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm stamped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad of this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, put through the baddest conditions. I'm up with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like Batman, niggas. She know I'm a prophet, she glad to be listening. Disrespect, I ain't having that shit till I go make some business from scratch. She bitchin' a different breed of black men. We don't do the back bend. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight. Like, don't forget about my face. We sticking up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Those bitches on rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we soldier. You can take that to the bank, we focus on. How many times must we remind you? One body, one way, some rank. I will never take up as a face. When the law with you ain't no up next. It's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world. I responded and called back. Oh Lord. And everything that they stole from us, fuck the shit, we want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the commanding general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. We unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better have the women, have the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't but the same. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in the wicked. In the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Fucking Hispanic, Native American, Indian, we ain't just talking shit, but we living in it. We be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be precious hell, take a picture. And we professional with the scriptures. Play, we gon' scratch them, yeah, we some killers. These niggas tripping, they mind blown. Swear business, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't get it pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide on. The slide that I know about is when I send with the gun, put the slide on real. I get the order, you know that it's slaughter. See me and my niggas gon' die for kill. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up, my niggas I'm fed up. I rep UPK, my niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got nines, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight, but with me and my nigga like bitch and whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight, but with me and my nigga like them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the commanding general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all don't fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. Understand me? Like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Hey. That's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. Oh.
Want zero transfer fees and great rates to Jamaica? Send your first online money transfer.
Yo, I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
America KKK, land of the good smokers, home of the slaves, and I'm just trying to be great. Tell me, how can I live with this drama every day? I'm a light, I'm a beam in this darkness. It seems that real life is a nightmare. Can I live my dreams on this earth? Since I was young, I realized I had a destiny bigger than the fiction that's disguised what was best for me. Better than the hate and all the lies that be the death of me. As a bleeds and sleep and hypnotized since elementary. Thought it was my skin, but studied something that was new to me. They hate me because of what my ancient ancestors used to be. Healers, teachers, deities, not all of them were kings and queens. Our nature was natural, not supernatural. Now they call it magic and voodoo, that shit ain't practical. All the roots connected, always more to learn about, you know. Don't let the shit go over your head. Same snakes up in the garden, but the skin just shed. They'll always try to convince you that it's all in your head. Just know you gotta do better before you hit your bed. Stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they don't wanna see us win. Trying to kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know that hate is deeper than the color of our skin. Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? I know that hate is deeper than the color of our skin.
Yo.
Can I live?
They say my rhymes cause too much excitement. Ride incitement, shit, well there's no indictments when my kinfolk get murdered by white men. Dark skin, light skin, divided and blinded. So we beef with each other, our brothers, rather than fight them. Fuck all that silence, it's time to get shit ignited. I ain't my way, low nigga. I ain't taking shit from no tars. And ain't no motherfucking nation got freedom from marching, begging for portions. Niggas ain't signing no parchments, big payback. You crackers got red in your margins. Why? They broke every treaty, slaughtered the buffalo, and then they set fire to teepees. They carved their face in mountains, but we go to jail for graffiti. We fought for this country, they gave us syphilis at Tuskegee. We been getting robbed, yeah, we're the ones who stay behind bars. They take all our money, but they ain't wanna give us no jobs. Wasn't supposed to make it, but we stayed defying the odds. It's like we really only living off the grace of our God. Can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? Yo, can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
Okay, I've been in my Bible lately. You understand me? Like, shit crazy out here. World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. You know, the world said fuck us, Matthew 24:13. So we said fuck the world. He that shall endure to the end. The world said fuck us, shall be saved. So we said fuck the world. Fuck the world. The world don't love us. No, so we said fuck the world. Look, I know your kinfolk gone, but hold on. I know them lights ain't on, but hold on. Look, even if you feel you got nothing to hold on, I got a message. God said hold on to your sanity. I know you in a position that you ain't planned to be. With our lives, we're not addicted to gambling. You feel the pressure and the thoughts in your head are scrambling. You feel the storm getting closer. You feel like giving up before you even start, then it's over. You feeling like fuck it, you going through too much to be sober. Life is passing you by as you do this over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over. Trying to make a change now. Instead of that, you fall a victim to the same now. Starting to find out that this life is not a game now. Back against the wall, couldn't run as the poor man screamed to the top of his lungs. Said fuck us. So he said, fuck the world. The world said, fuck us. So he said, fuck the world. The world said, fuck us. So he said, fuck the world. The world don't love us. So he said, fuck the world. For real, look. Cover your eyes, don't wanna see the blood on the leaves. Bodies of eyes innocently hanging from trees, floating in screens, blood in the water, blood on the altar. Still don't believe justice is coming. Heavenly Father, did not Christ say vengeance is mine? Don't even bother. When he return, it's gonna be slaughter. Ooh, I know you don't wanna face it, but what's real love sound like hatred. And you gotta be fucking crazy if you think they gonna get away with killing all them babies, feeding them the alligators. All the women that was raped, the transatlantic slave trade made us build a nation that we can't partake in. School to prison, pipeline, mass incarceration. All the lives that's been taken, hated to love it. You only talk about forgiveness cause we never get justice. I think you really reluctant. I remember hearing a hood nigga say all the shit he would have done if he was living during slavery. Look what's going on today, and you ain't doing a damn thing but putting shame on your ancestors' name. But who's to blame? All these drugs, pills, weed, beans, lean, and cocaine. I get the feeling that we living in a big dope game. The world said fuck us. So he said, fuck the world. The world said, fuck us. So he said, fuck the world. The world said, fuck us. So he said, fuck the world. The world don't love us. So he said, fuck the world.
On FanDuel Casino, new players get 350 bonus spins for a chance at the number one feeling, which is still winning. Better than number.
All my niggas ride for me. I got niggas that'll die for me.
You niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you gon' bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that, cause niggas get killed like that. When you ain't built like that. You niggas ain't built like that. You was never on the block, you ain't never dodge a knock. You ain't never fought another crew holding down the park. You ain't swam with the sharks, you ain't wrestled with the gators. You was never fucking popping, you ain't got no fucking haters. Bitch, niggas like you make me watch out for the traitors. When you round some real niggas, mind your behavior. I will be the nigga ass, then I'm laughing like I'm Jada. Get your fucking mind blown like a cartridge on a Sega. You niggas want attention, they don't want the war though. Talking all that shit, but you got a glass jaw. Ho, they never deliver. They got that DiGiorno. This that Walking Dead flow. I eat a rapper torso. You ain't the same man once you off the microphone. You ain't never broke a bone. You ain't never had a scar. You a certified pussy, so don't make me pull your card. I'm a certified prophet, respected like the word of God. Cause you ain't got the heart, nigga. You ain't got the heart. You ain't about to finish any beef that you start. You ain't never been a soldier, little nigga. Play your part. Claiming that you'll spark when you ain't got the heart. Cause you niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you gon' bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilt like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that, cause niggas get killed like that.
Shalom, Israel. With ISUPK coming out of 1 West Harlem, New York, 125th Street, under Commander General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we've been bringing out the truth that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of the Bible. I'm a preaching officer at Yahshua, holding down this history class, this law class. Got my sister from Louisiana in the building. Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Them Bashim Yahweh Shah says. Always a pleasure to see you in the building with a brother. Holding it down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Today's the law class. The law is something that we must follow, but we don't like doing because we're so accustomed to thinking we grown adults that we can do what we want. You know, when you're a child, you're raised to do as your parents say. And your mama tell you clean your room, your daddy tell you take that trash out, do your chores, you're supposed to do that, right? But in today's society, we grow up in single parent households, so a lot of those core values and morals kind of go out the window because, you know, not no discredit to the moms, but they're not going to raise the child like the father going to raise the child. And if you look at the statistics, fathers that's in single parent households, Slakia, Shalom, how about Shemiah Shabarakata? You know, like, Salakia. Okay. I was saying the difference between the father is raising the child and his hey, sir. No audio. You know, the difference when the father is raising a child as a single parent, you know, statistics show that it seemed like when the father's raising the child, it seemed like both parents are in the home. Like it's not a step missed. You understand? Because the father is going to raise the child from both points of views. The father's going to raise the child. The father's going to make sure the child is raised and got those core values, like the mom would instill as far as cleaning your room and doing your chores. He's also going to make sure that you learn how to discern and have proper judgment. You know what I mean? Like learn how to use your thinking cap. Whereas when a single mother raises the home, they raise King Von, FPG Duck, you understand, Fredo, those type of young men. Those are the type of young men they present to the world with their tutelage and teaching and upbringing. They raise monsters, they raise terrorists, they raise criminals, they raise savages. You understand? But then when you actually have a balanced household in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian household, when you have a balance of mom and father, not guaranteeing that person's gonna grow up correct or grow up, you know, and not become a criminal, but it's less likely that person, that young man or young woman, will not succeed. Is less likely that brother or sister might not succeed when they're given all the proper tools and tutelage through the household growing up throughout their life. They'll know how to navigate. They'll know how to navigate through life for the most part. You know, you got some situations where kids was raised up spoiled rotten. They don't know about what's going on in the world other than what they learn in school and what they see on social media, because you got some parents that shelter and coddle their children, you know, and you got some parents that give them that homeschooling, that stern school of hard knocks education. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't let it fool you just because they might have loved their child and made sure that their child wanted for nothing. But don't get it twisted. When they want their child to learn, that child will learn. When they want that child to know, all right, look, this is the world, and this is the world you live in, and this is the world that we sending you out to. Learn to remember your place, because if you don't, this can happen to you. You understand? Like when your daughter gets a certain age, you want to take it, like, you know, some blacks and Hispanics and Indians, they'll give the daughter a dose of reality, like, you know, value yourself. Don't give yourself to anybody. Don't just give your body away. You understand? And they'll tell them that, you know, saying some black families, they'll take their daughter to the host room and be telling them, like, look, you won't be one of these little fast ass little girls. This is where you're gonna end up, out here butt naked or half naked, damn near naked, selling your box for change. If that's what you want, so be it. If not, do what I tell you. It's just that simple. So I say that to say this. You know, when we grow up and our parents is telling us what to do and we're listening to our parents, you know, it's the same thing when we're listening to the Lord about keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? The Lord is telling us basically just follow these law, statutes, and commandments and you're going to be all right. You're not only going to have the love of the Lord, but you're going to have the mercy of the Lord. You're going to have the compassion of the Lord, and you're going to have the full service of the Lord. Shalom, Lord of Christ, Moshe.
Yeah, shalom, Lord of Christ, sir.
What's going on with you?
Man, ready to get this on the road here. Let's, teach these classes and everything.
Ready?
Get it going. Let's get it going and everything. I had to get my son situated a little bit.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about him. How you doing today? How you holding up?
Yeah, he doing good. He damn near about 88% better. So I was talking to Jerome Hyman about him yesterday.
That's what's up. I know the gentleman pleased.
Yeah, he pleased, very pleased.
That's good. We want to get him right, man. We want to be able to bring him to the Passover. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he won't be at this one. This one's my Hebrew Academy one, but he'll be at the next one. Yeah,
I almost forgot you in Hebrew Academy. Yeah, you got the trials.
Yeah, right. And I will have to watch him. I got too much stuff I'm redoing already. I got the cleanup crew. I'm trying to get on some Shamar duty and the cleanup crew. As a matter of fact, we got that council tonight too. A matter of fact. Nah, I mean, well, not true, but I have one.
That reminds me, I got is this the third week of March?
Yes, sir. We coming in. We in our third week of March. We getting ready to spill into April. What's today? I believe the 18th.
Yeah, so I got counsel tonight because I got a new phone, so I done lost a lot of stuff. I'm just not starting to get things back, but luckily I kept up this month with what day of the week it was or whatever, because I had it in my calendar, so I don't forget. But
what's this topic?
I was talking about the law class. Today the law class. I was just talking about how, when we kids growing up, our parents, they tell us what to do. Clean your room, do your chores, go to school, eat your vegetables, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And then I was breaking down the difference between single parent households when the father is the single parent raising the child, and the difference compared to when the mother's raising the child. When the father raised the child, it's as if statistics show it's if both parents are still in the household, because he's showing the love and compassion that the mom would give a child, but in a masculine way, and he's still instilling all the values and characteristics that their child is supposed to gain as they get older, and not be all tender and moist. He's teaching us. As men, we teach our daughters to be princesses and to value themselves and to respect themselves. And for the young men, we teach them how to be men, and we teach them, all the things that they need to know to be young men growing up in the world. Because you got some black families, they'll take their daughter, she turned 13, 14, start getting snappy. They'll take her to the host room and be like, look, you want to be one of these little fast ass little girls out here, this is where you're gonna end up, selling your box with change, half naked. That's what you want.
Yeah, if I may,
Yeah.
It was a clip of some sister. Her daughter was 13 years old out there on the host roll, and what she did was she pulled up, and as she pulled up and everything, she tried to pull up and get her out the car. She wouldn't get in the car though. She pulled up, got out the car, started filming her. Look where she at. Look what she doing. You know what I mean? To try to get her in the car. Her daughter was trying to tell her, go away. You're 13 years old, getting in cars with random men. Now I mean, going to have intercourse, prostituting herself for money. We know what the scriptures say about that how mothers should not prostitute their daughters.
Yeah. But again, that's where you get the difference in upbringing. When you got the father being a single parent raising a child, the statistics show it's as if both parents are still in the household again. And they're not going to defy the father like they would defy the mother. The mother is raising a girl, she's going to raise a whore. If she raises a son, she's raising King Vaughn, FBG Duck, Lil Boosie. You know what I mean? She's raising savages and monsters. Yeah, you see Lil Boosie doing interviews and stuff like that, just like you see Lil Woody doing. But you got to remember, these brothers will still unalive somebody at a moment's notice.
Yeah,
you got to keep that in mind. They in the eye of the public, but at the same time, they will quick reflex, whip out and unalive somebody if they felt provoked to, and they don't care that is their own people. And that's another part of the law that we break as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We have to break that cycle because we show lack of brotherhood and we show zero respect for the law that the Lord gives us.
Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Hey, Salaki, if I may, with the topic that y'all bringing out is so very heavy, right? Because today I was on social media, and it's like you see what's going on in the world through social media, and you see how Black children, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian children are being raised through social media, because you know what type of children are growing up, because you see what type of men are on social media. You see what type of women are in social media. Today I was looking at social media, if I may. I was looking at social media, and there was a young woman that was y'all know the guy who hates his own kind. He be doing the shows. I can't think of this guy's name, but he's a Black man, and they call him what's the guy from the cartoon show? They call him Uncle Ruckus.
Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah,
they call him Uncle Ruckus. It's the Black guy. This is a real Black guy. They call him Uncle Ruckus because he acts like Uncle Ruckus from that show, right? So he was doing an interview to some woman, and the conversation was about having a female president, and he was like, "Yeah, we should have a female president," and of course, he wants her to be Caucasian. However, this Black woman was saying. She said, "Hell no, I don't want a female president, because look at what women have done to the Black homes. They have destroyed them." And it's wild that she acknowledged the fact that Black women have destroyed the Black home, kicking the men out of the house. And of course, the Uncle Ruckus dude was saying, "Oh, the Black men, they left home," and he was trying to kick Black men down. This is his thing, is kicking Black men down, or kicking Black people down, period. And he made a statement like Black men just left the home. And the woman was correcting him. She said, "I'm a woman. A lot of Black women kick the Black man out of the house, and there are no Black men in the house, and what's needed is Black men in Black homes." And the wild part is Commanding General YAHANNA is such a prophet that he said this a long while ago, that we don't need a Black man in a Black house. We don't need a Black woman in a White House. We need a Black man in every Black house. We need a Hispanic man in every Hispanic house. We need a a native Indian in every native Indian house. And that's what it is. We need our men to be men in the homes, because what you do deliver, or what's being delivered in today's society, is young black men that's either effeminate, the new skinwalkers, or LGBT members, as I call them, you know, or they are the little ducks. They are the King Vaughns. They are the gremlins of the streets, and because they're raised by single parent mothers who don't monitor them, or they only give them compassion and not being stern, and not being that father figure. And that's why it's so idiotic when a mother says, I'm mother and father. No, you don't know how to be a man. You don't know how to be stern. You only know how to be nurturing. You don't know how to raise a man. And that's why a man needs to learn. The man has to raise another man, or teach a man. You can only learn how to be a man from a man. Salakia.
No, what you're saying is heavy. And the precept, to reiterate what you're saying, is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 1. Every woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. You know,
God, and if I may, that scripture right there, what you're reading, you know, a woman can build a house. You know, that's a woman. And if you look at the times, look at your grandmothers, the great grandmothers. We're not talking about the grandmothers of today's time. We talking about the grandmothers of old times. She will cook, nurture, clean the house. She will. I know grandmothers will work, come home, clean the house, take care of her responsibilities, and she would build the home up while the man would still be the man. But but if you look at today's society, look at these women today. They pluctive, and they read that last part of the scripture, Baba Shaw.
Salakia, let me go back to it. The one I was looking at was, the spelling was off. I don't think that was the right one, but all right.
No, that was the one that you just read. That was it right there. That was right on target, Ayash. That was right on target. That's the scripture you want to pull up in these type of times when you talking about the things you're talking about, and keeping the law, because it's part of the law of man being in the home and taking care of his responsibilities. And it's the law that a man leads. That's in the scriptures. It's in the law. That's our structure. In the structure, it talks about Malasar, can you pull the order of man? Can you pull the order of man? Can you pull that scripture for me?
1 Corinthians 11:3.
I got it, sir. I got
all right,
it, sir.
but first, Yash, read that scripture that you had.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, starting at verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house.
Go ahead.
But the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
Now let me tell you something. Every wise woman buildeth her house, and look at the women of old. But every fool. But read that second part of that.
But the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
Look at the women of today's time that kicking their husbands out of the house. Look at the women that's calling themselves mothers and fathers. Look at the women that think that they are above reproach, or they are above what a father could be. Think about the ones that got the husbands on child support. Think about these women that got these alternate life living people that's around their children and turn their children. I just seen a video. Mother said, I don't need no husband. I got my kids. And she got 3 boys, and they doing the dance challenge, and all 3 of the boys is dancing in a effeminate way. Let me tell you something. A wicked woman will pluck her house apart. She would destroy her house. And that's what's happening in today's society, because a woman is not following the law, because she has no fear of the Most High God, because she tries to be God.
Right.
She tries to be God because she tries to be above a man. She thinks she is God, talking about she's a Christian woman, and she's a liar, because she don't follow no order, because she thinks she's above orders. Salakia. And let go ahead, Ayash, read more on that, because there's more on that.
It goes to verse 3. Verse 2. He that walketh in his uprightness feareth the Lord, But he
And
that
that's
is
it's a lot here. Hold right there. Hold right there. He that what walketh up. Say, read it.
he that walketh in his uprightness feareth the Lord.
And that's what a righteous man is. A man that walks upright. A man that follows the law, statutes, and commandments. That's a upright man. He's walking and fearing the Lord. Keep going.
But he that is perverse in his ways despiseth him.
And that's the new generation that's coming up because they don't know no better because they're not taught by men. They're taught by wicked women that destroys the house, that destroys the home or the foundation of what a home is. And that's taking the black man and throwing him out the house. That's what's happening. That's
Right.
what's happening, and that's why you got scriptures like this that's telling us of what's gonna happen or what to expect and what you're gonna see in today's time. Look at this era. The
Right.
scriptures don't lie. The scripture is telling you exactly what's going on.
Right.
The man that walketh upright is the man that's gonna follow the law, statutes, commandments. But the wicked one is not gonna follow. He's gonna want to be wicked in the street. And 9 times out of 10, they're raised by single parent mothers.
Right.
Look at society. Keep reading. Read some more.
And I got
Read some more.
on what you're saying, what you brought out too. Verse 3.
Like,
in the mouth,
what you say?
I got the statistics on that, but the difference between father, single parent raising a child, and the mother. And I got the statistics on how many kids yearly get abducted by the ones that get abducted due to the moms being the ones raising the child by themselves without the father in the home.
Right.
On that.
All right, you can give me that. Read verse 3 first.
Verse 3. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride.
Say it again. Read it again.
In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride.
Read it one more time, Ayash, and take your time with it. Read it slow.
In the mouth of the foolish.
In the mouth of the who?
The foolish.
That's that woman that's out snapping her neck, twisting her fingers, twisting her neck, talking all the mess. That's the one that's loud in the streets. The mouth of the foolish. Read it again.
In the mouth of the foolish is
Keep
a
going.
rod of pride.
Is a rod of what?
A rod of pride.
I don't need no man. Read it again.
In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride.
I'm a mother and father. Read it again.
In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride.
That's every single woman that says, I want child support. You're not a father. You ain't no daddy. You ain't my daddy. I can do what I want to do. And you gonna do what I say do. That's every woman that's walking, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian woman that take up the culture or the ways of the wicked white people.
Damn right.
Salakia. Salakia, wait real quick. Let me get this. Before you bring out them statistics, Ayash, I'll read that scripture.
You wanted the rest of that scripture? There's a little more on that.
Give me the rest of that scripture.
But the lips of the wise shall preserve them.
But the lips of the wise what?
But the lips of the wise shall preserve them.
And that's them submissive women that keep their mouth goddamn closed.
Right.
That's the woman that's gonna listen to her husband and obey the wisdom of her husband, because the wisdom of her husband is coming from the wisdom of the Most High God, because that is the wisdom that he's following. He's following these laws, statutes, and commandments. You can tell the difference between a man that has the home and check, and that's most likely the men of the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge, and then the men that don't have their house in check. You can tell a difference. It's a huge difference. And let me tell you something. The women that's submissive and the women that's listening, the women that's paying attention, the women that's handling their responsibilities as wives, 9 times out of 10, they have an Ottawa. You understand what I'm saying? And it's a difference between having some niggas staying over or some jump off or some side side dude and have an Ottawa. It's a difference. A lord, as a man that's lording over these women, and as a man that lord over women, listen, you have to handle your responsibilities. And listen, your woman is supposed to be submissive, keep her mouth closed, and she supposed to in the very beginning of the scripture, she supposed to groom her house, raise her house, while a man leads the house. Salakia. Baba Shaw, give me your scripture real quick. Baba Kashaw.
I don't come. It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 3.
Read.
But I will have you know.
Go ahead.
This is Paul saying, but I will have you know.
This is Paul speaking. Go ahead.
That the head of every man is Christ.
That the who?
That the head of every man is Christ.
That the who? Read it one more again.
That the head of every man is Christ.
The head of every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is Christ. Keep going. Or Yahweh Mashiach, who we ignorantly call Christ. Keep going.
Yahweh Mashiach in the Hebrew means anointed savior and deliverer.
Right. Keep going.
And the head of the woman.
And who?
Listen up. And the head of the woman.
Say it one more time.
And the head of the woman.
The head of each black, Hispanic, and Native Indian woman. Keep going.
Is the man.
Is who?
Is the man.
Is who?
Is the man.
Is a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man. The head of women is the black man. Keep going.
And the head of Christ is
Go
God.
ahead. And the head of Yahweh Mashiach, who we ignorantly call Christ, is the Most High God. Do we see the structure and the order? And the moment you disrupt that structure and order, you have little duck. You have the moment you destroy that structure and order, you have what's the other boy? You have Little Dirk. You have what's her name? You have Gorilla. When you destroy the structure, you have Sexy Red. When you destroy the structure, you have LGBT members. You have the LGBT mafia. When you destroy the structure that the Most High God set in place, then you destroy the black home.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The water.
Yeah.
All right.
And sir, what's heavy about what you just brought out? I was just telling my son Tudor today. He was telling me something about how he once seen there was a section over in Newark where it was all, the tribe of Judah, all black Americans, right? Now our Latinos, the Northern Kingdom, came in there and took it over and every day. And I had to tell them, like, well, those are our brothers. But I said, let me explain something to you. When you have the woman putting the goddamn man out the house, right? You are not only breaking up your family structure, but you are eliminating your race, because the man carries the seed line to the race. So once you don't have no more men in the neighborhood on the block, the whole culture on the block is going to flip. Once the whole goddamn block is full of single women running different niggas in and out the goddamn house and all over your life, guess what? Other families from other nationalities are going to move in with the right household. They're going to move in with their husband, the wife, and their community is going to flourish. They're going to take over the community because they're coming in with a culture. They're coming in with the proper structure of the Lord. Sisters should have been able to understand something was wrong when you're in the goddamn supermarket and you got 3 different niggas' children in a family first card. But you didn't see that the East Indian lady had her husband in there. The Arab woman had her husband in there. The so-called white woman had her husband in there. You the only one standing in the goddamn grocery store with a family first card and kids by different Negroes. And you wondering why the whole world is looking at you as a disgrace of the damn earth.
Right.
If I may, what you're saying is heavy, Mosa. And not only is it this disgrace, they don't realize that they're the butt of the damn joke.
Right. They think
don't
that
understand that they're the butt of the joke and of the stereotype that's being put out in social media. just for that purpose right there. Like I was watching that, Pop That Balloon for Love, right?
Oh,
Dude was
man.
talking to the female, and he asked her, he's like, "Well, you got kids?" She was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, how many do you have?" She was like, "I have 3." He was like, by one man?" She's like, "No, by 2." You know what I mean? Most of them got 3 kids, 3 baby daddies. But he broke it down to her like, "Well, let me explain to you in case you didn't know. In order to obtain a top tier man, we give a woman a certain amount of children to have for the most part outside of wedlock. We allow 1, maybe 2 if you have it with the same man. But once you have like multiple children by multiple men, that kind of disqualifies you because we're searching for the value in women, and we might want to be able to have children, but we want to be mainly number 1. We don't want to be baby daddy number 3, number 4. You know what I mean? And that's why I can understand why brothers in the truth are very leery with women that they talk to or deal with. You know what I'm saying? Because, or if they already ribbed them and they already got a kid, maybe 2. Like they don't mind dwelling with the sister, but at the same time, it's like it becomes a stressful situation where they see how flawed the brother is being in the truth and how glorious he is, and want to give him a child, but he's a little apprehensive on that, and that becomes a situation that requires wise counsel, because she might want to have your child, but you don't want to have no child with her because she already has children with previous men. But that's something that brothers have to take into serious consideration before ribbing a sister as well, too.
Right.
Because if she doesn't fit your criteria, what you're looking for, as cool as she is or as beautiful as she might be, you might want to just have her as a princess of the school and not take, not lay hold to her, in certain situations like that. But as far as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have to take a certain level of accountability, especially our sisters. They have to understand, and if we can't teach the grown ones, then we need to teach the young ones that sex is marriage. Right. So we can break that vicious cycle of our sisters, being promiscuous out here sleeping with men, when they ain't got a business, they ain't even doing their homework. You know what I'm saying? Like they still got homework. That's the point that I'm making. And these young sisters coming up now, I don't know if you noticed, but these generations is getting more different the more I look out in the streets. Like I went to school, when I went to high school, girls looked good, but they ain't looking like they're looking nowadays, 10, 20 years later. Like the evolution of women is changing every generation. You get what I'm saying? And this is why, you got those top tier men that look for women that's in their 20s, like 19, 20, 21, 22, so on. You know what I'm saying? Because at that age, they're still young and vibrant. And if they don't have a body count, they hold all the cards and the value. Whereas you start dealing with women that's 25, 27, they've been outside. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen one female, she was like 19, 20. I ain't even gonna hold you. She already had like 4, 5, 6 kids. Pregnant with her 7th one. Like, all right, she's building a nation, but she's got 6 to 7 different baby fathers. You building a nation, but you're also destroying the lives of these children, because they'll never know who their father is. 2, they'll never know what it's like to be raised with a father in the household. You saying you want a chance at life, you want a chance at a husband, close your goddamn legs and stop letting any dude just run up in it raw.
Right, sir.
No way in hell you under 23 years old and you got 6 kids. It's women my age or close to my age and got 6, 7 kids, but they don't got no babies though. You get what I'm saying? They all past at least 6, 7 years old. You know what I mean? And for the most part, most of the oldest ones is grown adults already. You get what I'm saying?
Damn right.
It's sad that our sisters go through this, and they also put the brothers through this as well. And this is a sad case. I'm gonna let you guys do your comment, but I'm gonna read these statistics too when you're done. I know you want to see something.
Oh yeah, Salakia, sir. Now you go ahead, go ahead and give the statistics. I got a scripture too.
All right, no sweat. Now it says high risk in single parent households. Studies indicate that children in single parent homes experience a higher rate of abduction or kidnapping compared to those in two parent families. Relative abduction. A significant portion of children abductions involve relatives, with mothers and female family members being the most frequent perpetrators. Specific numbers. Research estimates that 84 out of every 1,000 children in single parent households experience an abduction or kidnapping, compared to 9 out of 1,000 in two parent families. Mothers and female relatives. Mothers and female family members are responsible for majority, 60% of the abductions. Those numbers, they say they tell the story right there. There's no statistic for fathers, because when fathers raise the children as single parents, the children's come out all right. They come out pretty good. You know, you might have times a little bit of times of struggle or hardship, but that happens. You know what I mean? Because when it's like, I don't know if you ever seen that movie with Will Smith and his son in it, and he was a single father raising his son, and he was trying to make it. You know, like when we go through struggles,
He was working on Wall Street in California, right?
Right. Like that was based on a true story. Now we deal with strife and struggle, but the adversity we face is not internally with the household. We don't have the issues that single mothers have inside the household. Our issues be economically, trying to sustain a job and a healthy schedule to make sure that my child is safe, to make sure my child is good. You know what I mean? Having a decent work schedule to where I can make sure my child gets to and from school and home safely, and make sure that they do their homework and they're fed and bathed and everything. You know what I mean? Until they're old enough to make sure that they could provide that for themselves. See, we focus on the important stuff. Single parent moms, they let their kids go to and fro, up and down the earth as they think they see fit, because the mom want to be lit. The mother still want to be whores. They still want to go to the club. They still want to be in the nightlife. You understand? They still think, oh, I got a kid, but I still look good. Damn that, I'm going out. You know what I mean? And that's the mentality and the spirit that they take on in today's society. And it's sad, because it's like, once you get married, you give up the eyes for us. It ain't no more I, me, it's us. You know, when you have a child, same thing. You give up the me for you, because it's about the child. It's not about the parent. And these sisters need to realize putting a brother on child support only damages your child's life more, and more than one way, for the simple fact, one, you only get pennies on the dollar. The white man gets a larger percentage of your child support collection. Two, it puts the father on probation automatically as if he's committed a crime. And that's all thanks to the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian woman putting the father out in the first place. And she thinks the best way to hurt him is to put him on child support.
Lock it, sir. Do you have the statistics on how much? You have the statistics on how much money the courts make off of divorces and child support? Because you know what, I was looking that up, and I believe it's $1 billion industry, but I could be mistaken. But they was bringing this out online about how much money they make off of divorces, that the state makes off of divorces and child support. That means this devil, this pale oppressor, this devil is literally profiting money off of Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans' households being destroyed. And you know it had to be some money behind it.
Now, this is what it says. It says courts don't directly get paid from divorces or child support payments. Instead, they use court fees and other funding mechanisms to operate. Child support payments are intended for the benefit of the child. That's a lie, because that got exposed recently. They said that child support is not for the parent, the custodial parent, nor for the child. That's for the government to offset abnormal funding that they, basically for funds that they misused doing other stuff. But you know they're going to dress it up when you look it up. Now it says courts are funded through a combination of sources, including state and local government budgets, court fees, and other fees associated with legal proceedings. Child support is the legal obligation for parents to financially support their children, and the payments are intended for the benefit of the children, not the court. Right.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So why is these sisters getting? So why is they getting pennies on the dollar, and the oppressor is taking in most of the money?
Let me ask you something. If Nas is still paying $22,000 a month for child support for his child for his daughter with police, he ain't dropping albums and nothing like that, but he's still getting money. But what is the purpose if both of y'all famous, both of y'all got money, y'all both got real estate and assets? What is the point of charging him so much money for one child? If y'all had many children, then I could understand that budget because you got to keep up a certain lifestyle. I get that. But the child don't need that much damn money. 22,000 a month, not 2,200, 20,000. You understand what? These children don't need all that damn money. Diddy was like one of the highest paid brothers on child support. Little Scrappy was like 10 racks.
Let me say this, right? Coming from a person that's been on child support, I know for a fact they do not get that exact money that you are spending in child support.
Absolutely.
I was paying $152 a month. I mean $152 a week out of my check, or $158 a week out of my check. And what my child's mother was receiving was $100 a week. So that $58 they was cuffing. That's what they consider the fees for collecting money from the father. And that's the fees of being on probation, because Black men, Hispanic men, Native Indian men don't know that they're on probation once you get on child support. We don't know it. But they secretly put your name on probation. You're on probation. And that's why you go to an office, or that's why you set up a payment situation. That's why the money is not given straight to her. Because when you go through the courts, and this is how foolish our women is, when they go through the court charges a fee. They charge fees. And guess who they charge the fees? They charge the fees to the men. So when you think you're paying, when you think you're giving if say your child support payments is $160 a week, right? Let's just use that as a number, or $150. Let's use a flat $150. The woman is not getting a flat $150. She's getting $100. The remainder of the dollars is going to them. Don't let it be what's the riz? Because if it's the riz, they take a larger portion of the riz. But Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian women, they are so goddamn foolish, and they so love their daddy, the oppressor, and run to him for all types of aid, that they don't realize their oppressor is screwing them over royally when you could just get the money from the husband. Here is one better. Just let the husband be a husband and keep the household together, and the child will be raised up right, and you won't have a demon child. That's number one. And you'll follow a law. That's number two. The law is first, and you won't raise a demon child is number two. And guess what? You save money. Instead of giving a oppressor, this Caucasoid, your money, so you got somebody saying what they can do to your child. At any given moment, they can come in, CPS or whoever you want to call them, whatever they called in your state, they come in, kick in the door, and take your children because you're considered an unfit mother. But a father will go to war with the courts. You're not taking my child. What the hell is wrong with you? And that's the problem, because Black women think that they know it all, because they want to be tough, because they want to be manly, because they want to be above the Most High God and take the power. We got to realize that the law is being taken away from the household because the man is leaving. And the man is leaving because he'd rather go make another family than deal with the demon of a wife that he has.
Right.
And he doesn't know any better that he can't just throw her away. And you know why that's not being taught? Because there are no men in the house. There's no men raising the children. There's no men raising the women. There's no men saying these are the laws. You cannot just put her away. The first time I ever heard that was coming into the school, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. I've never heard that in my life. And coming from a Christian home, studying Islam and other cultures or other religions, so to speak, studying these things, I've never heard that in my life until I came into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and I was taught that you can't just leave no woman. You can't leave her.
Right.
That's your responsibility. You laid with her. That's yours. She has 9 children. They're yours. And if they want to be rebellious or they want to go to their father, or listen, let them go. The thing about it is you can't leave that woman unless she go and sleep with somebody else. And that's
Right.
and everything is based around breaking the law. Think about it.
Yeah.
She go sleep with somebody else, she be breaking the law. She has 3 baby fathers, she done broke the law. She kicked the husband out, breaking the law. Put him on child support, breaking the family structure and the law. She's not loving she's not loving her brother like she loves herself. Women are treating men like a piece, like a business transaction.
Right.
She get pregnant. Look at these women that's going out here that chase sports men that's into the sports world just to have their baby so they can put them on child support, so they can have an income coming in, so they can have some type of stardom or fame. And guess what? Then they leave. They do 1 year, 2 years, get pregnant, and then they out. They're not with them more than 5 years, because within that 5 years, they done got pregnant. They done probably got a ring. They done soaked up some of his money, got a business, and got groomed to be have a little change, and now they out. They grown. They think they can do it. I don't need no nigga, because now you done got some money. Now you gotta don't let her have a ring, because she's gonna receive money. Annual income coming in from her husband, her ex-husband, and then don't let there be children involved, because then that's more money. And these women out here that's running around looking for pro basketball players, pro football players, baseball players, just so they can get pregnant and collect child support. And none of these women are understanding that one simple thing. First, that they're not following the law. Second, they're destroying the black home. Third, that the white man is only taking the money and using it for their wars, to fund their wars and fill their pockets.
Right.
Because the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Salakia.
No, what you're saying is heavy. They're using it to offset debts, that unnecessary debts that they've created. Why you think when you had looked it up the other day, Trump had to open the books to see exactly where all this federal spending is going to? And something you said not too long ago, you brought it out the other day in class. It slipped my mind just that fast. You just said something when you was talking about the sisters, and you had brought it out in class with Officer Dunn, if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to these sisters and the promiscuity. Because the topic at that time was the they need to learn how to be wives. These sisters, they, like the one girl, she dated Israel Adesanya, who was a former UFC champ, for a year, and she thought she could get money out of him only after dating him for a year and not even trying to get married or nothing. Article came out last week. He ain't getting nothing because he was smart. He did a biggie. He put everything in all his assets in his mom's name. So it looked like he only got just a couple $100 in the account. So she wouldn't have been able to rip him if she wanted to, even if she tried to stay with him. But then you look at Travis Hunter, the one that's getting drafted to the NFL, that played with Shiloh Sanders, Deion Sanders' son. People on the internet was trying to help him. They wasn't trying to brag on the young lady, but they was trying to let them know, like, don't get caught up in the beauty of a woman, and don't get caught up in the sex to see what's really going on. As you can look at her, you can tell she'll stick around for a minute. She gonna weather the storm of social media, but she going because she already got an OnlyFans page. She getting money, but she's gonna wait till he get that big contract. Wait till he starts spending a little money, and then she gonna end up trying to get pregnant, and that's when she gonna get him. Like, boom, now I got you. Now you're gonna see him all in the tabloids, stuff like that. You're gonna have a bad rookie season because of behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just writing on the wall. It writes itself. This stuff happens to athletes all the time. They deal with these. It's a rare occasion that you got with somebody that you got a day one. You got some athletes that got a day one and was with them from the mud. You get what I'm saying? And they still with them even after retirement. Those, you got those rare cases too. But for the most part, these sisters, they be out here at the All-Star weekend trying to get drafted.
Right.
Straight up.
Salakia, sir. You know what I mean? It is awful behavior. You know, a lot of these athletes' children, right? A lot of their children grow up to be drug addicts, right? Because they still are being raised in broken households. Right here, you have millions of dollars. AP, right? They just tried to put Antonio Brown on the spot, right? Because he done got some devil pregnant. So the devil hits his phone up, about their son, like, hey, babe, how you doing? I was wondering if you can help. It would be nice if you can help with the rent this month, even though he's already given his devil child support. He tells the devil, man, listen, go suck a rod. Everybody was in an uproar on that. Everybody was on an uproar on the internet because he said, all you doing is you using my child as a pawn. Using my child as a pawn so you can get money. So you get money out of me, right? Sisters and all types of other women, they do this. They play this game with brothers that don't have much money, and they do this with athletes all the time. And all they do is they create ungodly children. I got a scripture real quick, so I'm about to read.
And what you're saying on that before we bring out the scripture is heavy because I don't understand. Every state has different regulations and limitations on how much you're supposed to pay on child support. And this is how a lot of these women is getting over. They're living in these states where they can get the maximum number on child support. Like New York, you're only supposed to pay a certain amount, but yet Nas was paying at one point over $9,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? All the New York rappers was paying racks, racks for their children.
Anthony Edwards, right? Anthony Edwards, who you know, he played Ant-Man, who played for the T-Wolves, right? Yeah. Some sister, he got a 37-year-old sister pregnant at 19 years old, right? So now the 37-year-old sister, right? The baby was counted for in Georgia. In Georgia, right? She moved to California and got a goddamn California address because they saying you get more money in California than you would in Georgia. The limit you can get in Georgia is, I think, $2,000 a month. So she tried to be slick thinking she could get more and tried to transfer her and the child to California. The judge in California said, nah, this out my jurisdiction. Sent the case back down, sent it back down to Georgia.
Yeah, because when you try to go to California and New York, you could get way, way, way more money for child support being out there. Like Cali and New York, they ripping people because you got to remember they dealing with athletes. You're dealing with movie stars. You're dealing with high paid actors and actresses. You know, it's a rare occasion you'll see a famous actor actress paying child, like a female actor actress paying child support. You bring that scripture out.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's the and this right here is what's going on with us. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3, verse 16. No, Salakia. Ecclesiasticus chapter 16. Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons. And that's what happens. See, the Black, Hispanic, and the Native American community, right? We started glorifying having ungodly children. When you sit up here, right, and you got all these sisters getting pregnant in the hood, and they don't have no husbands, all their children come out ungodly. I remember there was a time out in Patterson, right, where sisters was just getting pregnant for Section 8 and welfare. They was literally sitting up there just getting pregnant by a dude just so she can go downtown and put him in the system and get him jammed up. And sometimes, a lot of times, when they was going down there to the system, they would actually put the wrong dude name in the system. It turned out they not even his damn kids, but they had a ring. But they was doing that a whole lot, and they was making ungodly children. Because all the children that come out of that situation end up being your future murderers, your drug dealers, your gangbangers, your sexual deviants. They fill up the goddamn prison system.
Right.
Now I mean, those are all ungodly children. Now I mean, and that's what they was doing. They was literally just going out there having sex with anybody. They'd be having sex with 4 or 5 different dudes, get pregnant, and want to put the baby. Any one of those dudes, they don't know who their father is. You have ungodly children coming out right now. That's all we see in the ghettos right now is ungodly children coming from these single parent households. From the minute that slut decides to throw that man out the house, that child has now become ungodly because she's not going to teach him moral character, structure, discipline. They're going to be in there making twerking. They're going to be in there doing twerk contests on TikTok, shaking their asses on TikTok and Instagram in front of the whole world, showing the whole world what you are. Or just like when that little 2-year-old baby was staring at his auntie's butt because she's in there, she ain't got no damn clothes on. They're making him an ungodly child. Everybody thought that it was a joke on the internet that little baby sitting there staring at his aunt's butt. She ain't got no clothes on. She got these little shorts on. What they're breeding right there is a sexual deviant. He's going to grow up with a problem. He's going to grow up and be a sexual deviant and be fast. Because he's sitting there.
He's going to be like R. Kelly. R. Kelly got touched on by his aunt.
Yeah, by his aunt. Come on, sir. R. Kelly was by his aunt. Yeah.
And he got touched on in the church.
In the church. They turned them into ungodly. They turned them into ungodly children. Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, because now the father's out the house. You ain't got God, you ain't got Christ, you ain't got no structure, you ain't got no order. All you have is some whore that just wants to smoke weed and dance and watch love and hip hop all day. So who are your children going to be profitable to? They ain't going to be profitable to you. They're going to be profitable to the jail system. Oh, they're going to be profitable to pale-faced white people, the white man. That's who they're profitable to now. You know what I mean? They're not profitable to you as a black man. If you want child support, right? Your children are profitable to the white man. They're not profitable to you. You're spending all your child support money and it's going to these devils, right? Your children are not even they're not profitable to you. So you ain't supposed to desire and having ungodly children, unprofitable children. And brothers need to learn how to start picking better women to lay with. And you know, if a sister ain't come from no family structure, you know they in the dead of the goddamn hood. You know you got no business having sex with her because she's shaking her behind. You know what I mean? You know that you got to go on some dates. You got to vet her. You got to see where her mind is at. You have to see, did somebody in her family know anything about a family structure? Did she see an uncle? Did she see an aunt that was married? Did she see grandparents that was married? Or did she just see a bunch of goddamn hyenas in the goddamn ghetto just having ungodly children, unprofitable children, your future gangbangers and drug dealers, your future carjackers? You know what I mean? Your future ones that's going to contribute to black on black crime and funerals. Those are all ungodly children. The Lord said we ain't supposed to. The Lord said that desire not in a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons, man. Right? A lot of you sisters, your sons be dying in they gangbanging. The Lord said, don't delight in them. Don't delight in them. You know what I mean? My son, look, FBG Duck mother, King Vaughn mother, all them little niggas from Chicago, they mothers was was being delighted in them, bigging them up. That was a goddamn ungodly son that you had. That's what you had. You had an ungodly son. That's why goddamn head got blown off. You ain't supposed to glory in that. And that's what a Black, Hispanic, and Native American household has turned into because of the Christian church, the Muslim mosque, and fake Israelite groups. Yes, fake Israelite groups and fake Israelites too. And gay colleges.
And not just those two brothers. There's a lot of them out there. And, like, you remember a dude named Fredo?
Yeah, Fredo Santana. I remember him.
He was a savage, raised by his mother. His mother don't be in the spotlight like that though, but at the same time, she glorified in his ways. You know, a lot of these so-called drill rappers and shooters and stuff like that, they try to glorify violence. They try to glorify violence and make that the new norm. You get what I'm saying? And as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we need to learn how to stray away from that. And it's like what Commander General YAHANNA said. We don't need a black man in the White House. We need a black man in every Black and Hispanic house. You know what I'm saying? Because it starts from the home. If these sisters would stop throwing the brothers out because they want to obtain a masculine spirit and want to try to dominate and control, if they would just put that to the side for a minute and actually be a goddamn lady and a wife and a mother for a change, they might see change. You understand? Then they might see a difference. Then they might see a shift in the household. Maybe the father would want to stick around a little longer if you wasn't busy trying to have an OnlyFans page. Like you in your 40s, what the hell is wrong with you having an OnlyFans page? Why are you to the club trying to be lit? I don't understand that nonsense. You in your 30s.
Sir, I didn't sing. It's sisters that are 60 years old with OnlyFans pages, sir. 60 goddamn years old. 60. Right? All they doing, they old asses is old. All they doing is chasing penis. That's all they do. Old and alone. You do away all your husbands. Now you feel me? See, Isaiah 4:1 is getting ready to come to pass. I was at Wendy's the other day, right off Sayash. Mm-hmm. Right, I met a 21-year-old in there at Wendy's. She was behind the counter. She was taking my order, and I was like, "How old you is, sister?" She was like, "I'm 21." I said, "How old I look?" She said, "You look dirty, 30." I said, "No, I'm 41." She's like, "What?" Right? That 21-year-old girl, her whole generation of men, of youngins, are destroyed. Because they came up being raised by these monster-ass women. She don't have no men to go to pick out. She has no men. She's going to end up with 40-year-olds.
They destroyed the
all effeminate. She my little nephew age. She gonna end up with somebody my age. She gonna end up with an older man because that whole generation has been wiped off and destroyed from single mother households. Been destroyed with no masculinity. Don't have no direction. It's over for them. And it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame, man. It's a shame of what our people have become. But you know, the Bible said that this was going to happen. I'm holding the scripture for you too, sir. Genesis 3:16. Now, this right here is a law, because it's the law class, Officer Ayash's law class, my Adawan. And this is the law that the Lord told a woman. A lot of you sisters out there swear up and down you talk to God and God talks to you. Lord is not talking to you, you dummy. Because if he was talking to you, he this is what he told you. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman, this is the Lord speaking, unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply the sorrow in thy conception. That means when you getting ready to have a baby, you're going to have labor pains. It's going to hurt when you giving birth. Once upon a time, before the sin came onto the earth, women would just have babies naturally and it wouldn't hurt. But the Lord says, since you decided to sin, since you decided to go take that evil knowledge from the tree, I'm gonna multiply your sorrow in conception. Salaki, I will greatly multiply the sorrow through thy conception. So it's not a flex that you can have a baby and that you get labor pains from having a baby. You get labor pains from having a baby because the Lord is cursing you for it because of the sins you did in the Garden of Eden. That's your punishment. Labor pains is your punishment. All right. I will greatly multiply sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow, thou shalt bring forth children, and all thy desire shall be to thy husband. All the desire, right? You sisters think that a man is supposed to be for you. The Lord said all your desire is supposed to be to your husband. So what the hell is you looking, trying to find someone for you? The scripture said, do not prostitute your daughters. If your mother taught you how to be a single mother, she taught you how to be a prostitute. So we know damn well the Lord is not talking to her. Most single mothers are prostitutes, man. They get banged on by everybody for a couple of dollars and they get passed to the side. That goes against the Bible. So we know that the Lord is not talking to you. Again, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Thou shalt bring forth children, and all thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Meaning your husband is supposed to rule over you. It ain't supposed to be no 50-50 or no partnership. That's the law of God.
Slacky, I'm glad you mentioned it. That's what I meant to say earlier, like in the week when Osadanya was teaching, because Shaq had said, him and Osadanya had said, you know, the problem with these sisters out here is they don't have a man to rule over them, and they don't want a man to rule over them, but that's their God-given right to have a man and an Ottawa rule over them. So the order of the household remains intact. And the rule over them is not the mean like not meaning anything bad or negative or hurtful. Like nah, we're here to govern and rule over the household, so we have proper structure and order. The woman's role is not the role of a man. The responsibility of the man is different from the responsibilities of a woman. A woman has other responsibilities to make the man's position even stronger. Because as long as she's doing her part, he can focus on doing his part. That's the whole point of having a man to rule over you. But these sisters, they got it wrong. They try to make it seem like, oh, I ain't never going to have no man rule over me, this, that, and the third. Well, keep being a single mother and let me know how that works out for you. Yeah, now you in your 30s, your 40s, you knocking on the door to 50 and you wondering where the good men at. They don't want your raggedy ass no more. Because you've been ran through, you've been washed up and used up now like a tampon. You done. Now you might as well just be single, keep chasing Rod, get you a dog or something. Because you're going to die alone. Right. Like Muhammad brings that out all the time, and he tells them, like, yo, y'all sisters think y'all doing something having that masculine spirit on you. Y'all gotta let it go. Because holding on to that masculine spirit, you ain't doing nothing but destroying yourself and destroying your options of having a potentially decent life. And then y'all want to have that masculine spirit and you want to chase a 6-figure nigga when you only worth a 4-figure brother.
Ridiculous.
You understand? Like, and what my man brought out on the social media platform makes sense. Like, why would you search for something that you're not willing to put the type work in yourself? If you're not willing to put the work in for you to earn 6 figures, what makes you think you deserve or qualify to deserve a 6-figure brother? If you don't have similar work ethic.
Isn't that a form of prostitution? I mean, I believe that's prostitution, sir. Right? You seeking a man, a 6-figure man. You ain't putting no work in to go make that a hundo. You know what I mean? Make 100,000 a year. Now I mean, like you know, this sister that's about to potentially be my new supervisor. You feel who I be kicking it with, right? She running 11 bills. She says she's single too, and she hate it, right? Beautiful sister, right? But she run 11 buildings. Now I mean, she an executive manager. She run 11 buildings and shit. You know what I mean? She's a 6-figure sister. Mm-hmm. She putting in work. She ain't sitting at home, and she hate being lonely, but she ain't sitting at home talking about I need to get me a 6-figure and all this nonsense. She go out there and she put in work, run them buildings, and I mean, boss up. Now I mean, she go and she get her own bread. If a sister's sitting around waiting for some 6-figure Negro to come over here and just give her money, that is prostitution, man. That's prostitution. He's basically paying you to lay with you, and then he go about his business. You always call him when you need something. I've been there before. Call you up. You think you could bring me $100? You think you could bring me $50? Like what the? Every time you get paid. Every time you get paid.
You know what it is, Mama Soft? Like, she's that type of sister, like, it's like how, you know, 6-figure men is. Like, we'll be willing to date down. See, more likely men will date a girl that works at McDonald's. A man will date a girl that's unemployed. A man will date a girl that works at ShopRite. You know why? Because a man will build her up and give her value and make her a commodity. You get what I'm saying? Whereas a woman, for the most part, they date up. But being that she's already up, she doesn't mind dating down.
Right.
She sees lonely at the top, so she don't mind dating down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the bring it. Try to fish her in.
Yeah. I be, you know, she, you know what I mean? She high sister. Yeah.
Try to bring her into the school.
Yeah, definitely. You know, but
I see potential in other ways. You know, having a sister like that in school could be valuable.
Yeah, valuable. Where you working and you run buildings and low income housings and stuff like that.
That open up income.
That open up doors. That's another thing. That's another thing too. So let's get on these half a homo ass brothers, man. Yo, now I mean this is all not the sister's fault, right? This is not the sister's fault. I mean, this is not all just the sister's fault, right? A lot of you brothers out there, you're soft, you're weak, you're moist. You're a lustful pig. Right? I would never want you around any of my children. I would never want you around any of my family because you're lustful. You will put your rod in anything with a post. And that right there is the reason why our sisters don't reach their fullest potential. You don't make these sisters work for anything. All they got to do is have a 3-inch slit between their legs, and all of a sudden you just fall right in it. Then you want to cry that you on child support. You shouldn't be on child support. I mean, that's what you get because you want to stumble at the beauty of a woman. You want to be weak and moist. Stop being weak and moist over women and make them work. And I mean, when you make women work, they come out incredible like that executive sister. They come out, they turn out to be valuable sisters. You are hurting us. You punk mofos, you sissies are turning our great black women into prostitutes and whores, man. Right? You know what I mean? And I don't feel sorry for a lot of y'all when you be on child support because you're lustful. Stop. The Bible says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. See if she has in her empty mind.
I got that precept. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 25, verse 21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure.
See? This is in the Bible. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. The reason why you getting got for your child support money. Now, I mean, the reason why you on Facebook crying out all of a sudden because you done ran up into some Tatiana and she got some dude on the side. Oh, you had to see this on Facebook, sir. A brother then went through his red phone, called her side dude up and said, yo, how you know her, man? You please leave her alone. Please leave her alone. Please, baby, please leave her alone. You crying on Facebook over some damn hoe? You weak and moist dummy. Where's your father? You know what I mean? You weak and moist dummy, right? You leave her alone. That's because you chose to lay with a harlot. And it's your fault.
Well, he was raised by a harlot. You can't really fully blame him. He was raised by a harlot. You know what I'm saying? Both of them. The tender moist in the half a rainbow.
Man, brother, brothers. One second, my lord. Brothers, right? The women will get better when we start being better. Right? You running around here being a half a rainbow, soft, weak, and moist Negro. How you think the women gonna be? It's definitely not all on the sisters. These Negroes are weak and moist and soft glazed honey buns. Hey, sir.
If we go up 2 verses, the Ecclesiastes chapter 25, verse 19, it says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the question of a sinner fall upon her. You know, they used to say hell has no fury like a woman scorned, right?
Right.
But they got to understand, a lot of the times these women allow to be scorned because of poor decision making skills. Like these sisters have poor decision making skills. She laid down with this brother because she thought he was cute. She laid down with this brother because she thought he had a large rod. She laid down with this brother because she thought he had money. You just laying down with brothers for all these reasons, and none of them is the reasons you need to lay with any of them. Why don't you lay with a brother that seems to be a good quality brother and somebody you can see yourself spending your life with? That's the problem. These women, and this is why brothers end up on child support in the first place. These women will lay down with a man that they'll allow a man to go up in them because they like him, but they don't like him to the point that they want to spend their life with him. This is why you have men on child support. This is why you have sisters with multiple children and multiple baby daddies, because they saw themselves sleeping with him, but had no reason to see themselves being with him. I've heard women on numerous occasions say they don't care or mind having the brother's baby, but they don't want him. They would just wanted his seed.
Yeah, it want me. Damn.
Well, I don't understand that backwards logic or way of thinking or mindset. Why would you want a brother's seed, but you don't want him? If you want his lineage, then you would want him. You would want to keep him around because he could produce many seeds.
Right. Yeah.
You just want to collect seeds. So you're a farmer now, huh? Ho? You're a farmer now. You're running around collecting seed samples.
Sir, she's
a scientist now.
Yeah, she a sperm.
A lot of seed samples in your belly. Whatever happened to that? Remember that when Lil' Kim had to get her stomach pumped from swallowing so much seed?
Yeah. She became a sperm bank. You go get samples out of Lil' Kim mouth.
Yeah, these sisters want to be sperm banks and stuff. They want to be, sperm receptacles.
And these weak and moist Negroes think it's real cool to just go run up in a sperm bank. But you don't know how big of a fool, how foolish you look, man. When I look at you dummies, like I'm like, good night. You going to run up in that hole, and she was just running up and he's going to say he's not an LGBTQ member. But I'm trying to figure it out. What makes you think you not LGBTQ if one man was just letting off all in her, then you went and put your face right between her legs? I mean, I ain't the smartest man in the world, but that seems rainbow coalition if you ask me.
Like Kashaka bro is the sister that wanted to try to sleep with I think either 100 men in one day or 1,000 men in one day. I don't know. I can't remember the number, but the number was ridiculous. It was outlandish. Like, I don't understand. Like, why would you and she would be the same sister that would sleep with all these men at one time, and these men dumb enough to just go in her knowing she's trying to achieve this goal and make the Guinness Book of World Records this way. And not only that, you don't know what these brothers is bringing to the party. You understand that you just laying with rod after rod after rod after rod. After a certain number, you are going to end up burning somebody. You're going to end up flaming somebody or giving them something that you can't get rid of, along the way. Because you got to remember, you don't know how many women these men is sleeping with, and how many whores they're laying with. Because the only way a brother could contract the STD is from either being half a rainbow or by laying with whores.
Yeah. And that's not a
face. Y'all bashing me out shop record thug.
That's my other one right there, the Posh Royale from Georgia.
Yeah.
Holy Christ, sir.
What's kind of crazy?
Yeah.
Our
But
classes
yeah,
are starting to get out there.
yeah, man. But these damn but brothers, you gotta stop being half of rainbows, man. Y'all laying in these whores. You are a rainbow, man. That is a part of sodomite activity, man. And you know she been around with everybody. Like, and then you both get blamed for the baby. So now, if you, how do you feel like you're masculine? Where you was hitting something. Like I'm hitting something off Sayash hitting something. This whore don't know, who the baby daddy is. I'm gonna be sitting there looking like, yo.
See, now look, what you saying is heavy. Like, let's say we'll say two brothers in the world, they sleep with a sister, right? She get pregnant. You know who gets jammed up with the baby? It'll be the brother that's in the friend zone that she needs as a fall guy. So she'll slide him a piece, but he got the monies. So she'll slide him a piece and then say it's his baby, and he gets stuck with raising the baby when instead of having the other two brothers that she laid with fight over the child. But then this child ends up growing up confused as hell. Because not only that, you got to remember, these sisters have to take into consideration, you laying with multiple men, you're taking the spirit of other men inside of you. You're taking that energy of different men inside of you. Every man is different, and you're taking that little piece of difference every time you lay with a different brother. And by doing that, this is why women have bipolar disorder. This is why sisters is crazy, and they never distort her. Like, seriously, they got problems. You're right. We see it happen way too many times in the world, period. That's why I'm glad to be in the truth, man. We see it happen too many times out here. These women, they say they want, and you know what it is? After they all used up, washed up, got 30 kids and 25 baby daddies, now they want to sit there and say, oh, they go online like Sukiana, like, I want me a UPK man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, remember that? She went online and said she want her Israelite. And guess who was the first rainbows to go in her inbox?
The purple people eaters.
Sahari. What do you call them? Them fake Israelites, Zabari, yeah. The hell out of here, man.
And then she hung out with Dr. Umar. Yeah, I don't understand how they try to make it seem like they're like we're Judites. Why would you try to embody your former slave master? Just tell me what sense does that make? Why would you want to embody your former slave master, who honestly enslaved us worse than white people did? Yeah, they worked us on the cotton fields. Yeah, they whooped us. Yeah, they hung us. Yeah, they broke a buck and did our. But the Pharaoh was far worse. The Pharaoh was far worse. You understand? Because he kept us in constant servitude. No breaks, no time off, no nothing. You understand? We built up Egypt. We raised up Egypt to what it was. You understand what I'm saying? Just like we built this nation, this country here to what it is. Right. They could have done it without us. But you know what happened? Then they got greedy. Then they want to sit there and say, oh, niggas is taking up all the jobs. Oh, y'all immigrants are taking up all the jobs. No, it's not. We're taking the jobs that you want. Our Mexican and Israelite brothers and sisters is taking the jobs that y'all refuse to take because you feel you worth at the time. You feel you worth $7, $8 an hour. They're willing to take $2 or $3 an hour. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You feel you worth more than $12 to $15 an hour. They'll take that $5 to $8 an hour. Let me get that. And they're gonna go above and beyond. And they're gonna go make overtime and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? I watch Israelite brothers. You know, the ones that be waiting on the side of the road to get picked up for construction work.
Right.
Odd jobs when the white man pull up in a pickup truck and snatch a handful of them. All right, I bumped into this one Israelite brother. He got his own contracting company. You understand? He endured the enslavement and the low pay, but 2 years later got his own business. And I asked him how he did it, and he said it. Like, I worked for a couple years under this dude, and I saved my money. I got my paperwork in order, and I got my licenses and got certified, and now I got my own company. But all that comes from so we don't stay off track. All this comes from following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And what our brothers, our Israelite brothers, got to understand is saying in the scriptures, it's best that we obey the laws of the Most High rather than the laws of man.
Damn right.
If we follow the laws of the Most High God, we won't have brothers on child support. We won't have sisters trying to embody a masculine spirit. We won't have our young sisters out here thotting and whoring and belittling their self and diminishing their selves and their value. You understand? If we get back to these law, statutes, and commandments and gather together, we will have unity.
Damn right.
How they say it takes a village. Well, it takes a nation. It takes a nation to come together. You know, it's been since biblical times. You know, our Ephraim and Simeonites. You know, they're gonna always disagree. They're gonna always agree to disagree. That's just how we is as people. You know what I mean? No matter whether in the past, present, or future. You know what I'm saying, and so on and so forth. But as long as we know that we're in part of the 12 tribes and we are kinfolk, we can begin to make progress. We need to gather together, like I say, Zephaniah 2:1, and we need to get right with one another. But the best way to get right is to get in these classes and learn these law, statutes, and commandments. Sisters need to learn these law, statutes, and commandments so they can learn and understand they need a man, the Lord over them. Because if you have a brother, a UPK brother, Lord over you, you're going to know what it's like to really be a wife. You're going to know what it's really like to be a mother. You're going to know what it's really like to be a sister and a princess in this body. You understand? Because you're going to be selfless and not selfish. You know what I'm saying? We need more sisters in this truth, being princesses, helping fixing, making garments, helping making sandwiches, and dropping off cases of water to camp for brothers. You know what I'm saying? When it's 100 degrees out there. You know what I'm saying? We need more of that. Like we need more sisters to pop up at camp with some warm with them hot packs for our hands, with the gloves and stuff, you know, while we out there on Shamar and stuff like that. Like they don't understand every little bit helps and every little bit counts.
Damn right.
Everything helps and everything counts when it comes to the law, statutes, and commandments of God, and when we're doing what we're supposed to do for one another. Matter of fact, let me get
I'm holding something, sir. But if you want,
yeah, you holding something already? Let me get it. Let me hear it.
All right. See, it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken into the voice of the Lord thy God. Hearken.
It says if thou will not hearken, meaning if you don't listen to the voice of the Lord thy God. This ain't a question, this ain't a request. He's commanding you to hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to listen. Continue.
To observe.
To observe meaning to learn these laws, pay attention to how they're being taught to you, and take notes and take heed and start living them. Don't just read the Bible and say you read the Bible and that's how you love God. No, you gotta love is an action. Show you love God. Follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Fear him. Keep the laws. Continue.
Observe and to do all his commandments.
Nah, to do some.
All his commandments.
Just to do a couple of them.
All his commandments.
Nah, just the ones that you like.
All his commandments.
Nah, just the ones that suit what fits for you in your life because you grown.
All his commandments.
All his commandments, not some, not half, not a portion. You got to keep all the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day.
He said, I command thee. I don't ask. This ain't a question. This ain't a request. This ain't even a strong suggestion. I'm commanding you to do this. Keep my laws, statutes, and commandments. This is not a friendly request. He's telling you what to do. This brings it full circle of what I've been talking about the whole class. You know, because the original premise of what I was saying was when you're raising your children is supposed to listen to the mother and the father by doing the chores, make your bed, clean your room, wash the dishes, take the trash out. Same thing when it comes to the Lord. When the Lord tell you to keep his law, statutes, and commandments and to fear him, you were to do that. This is not a request. You're supposed to fear the Lord, which is the beginning of wisdom, and you're supposed to keep his law, statutes, and commandments. Right. Keeping his law, statutes, and commandments is you making up your bed every day. You taking out the trash. It's all the same thing. It's all synonymous. You love your brothers, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. You love your brothers, whether if you know them or not. You show compassion. You understand? You show patience. You show mercy. You don't dishonor or disrespect your brother. And if you have an ought with him, you go to him and him alone. This is all keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, because without it, the Lord will not be with you. Right. You will not have the protection of the Lord. You will not have the service of the Lord. And without it, we're lost. This is why we out here now prophesying to the wind, even online. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised I ain't get my hecklers in the building today. You know what I'm saying? My usuals. They're the ones that go viral. Where's Squeaky Clean at? I don't even remember the other one, but Squeaky Clean. I'll never forget Squeaky Clean. That half a rainbow. He gonna help me go viral with class.
Most High in Christ.
You finished that precept, or you got something else?
A whole lot more, sir.
Go ahead.
Statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
All these what?
That all these curses.
Jesus, good night. Meaning, if you don't do what the hell I'm telling you to do, you will face curses. You will face child support. You will face homelessness. Right. You will face oppression. Right. The shackles that's being placed upon us is not physical shackles now. They're mental and spiritual shackles that are placed upon us. We got invisible yokes of iron upon our brain, not our neck anymore. It's in our brain now.
Yeah, Salakia, sir. That's the reason. That's the reason. What child support is goddamn spiritual shackles.
We're gonna keep getting placed in prisons.
And get placed in prisons because child support leads to prison. You get pulled over and your child support in the rears, you're going to jail. Right there, you're going in cuffs, you're going right to jail. Right.
And I used to always wonder if you went to jail for a missed child support payment and you get out, do they deduct the time, calculate the time you spent in jail? Yeah, see, I never understood that. Like, but now that I know that child support is probation, and now I get why they do that and how it doesn't, one don't got nothing to do with the other. So you get locked up, you just get locked up, you still up.
You just sit, you just sit in your dumb ass. Like, it ain't like if you get arrested for some tickets, you be like, yeah, you know what? I ain't paying that ticket. I'll do 3 days for $1,000 ticket. They'll let me out. I ain't like that with child support.
I never knew that.
When you get locked up on child support, your dumb behind is just sitting in jail. And when you get out, you still owe that money. Or when they pull you over, they're gonna lock you back up again. Those are spiritual shackles, right? That turn physical, that turn to physical shackles.
Yeah, I was about to say those physical shackles now, they keep locking you up for the same thing.
Yeah, they turn to physical shackles because we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. The Lord says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. You just went and got drunk and laid up with some hoe. She having your child.
Hey, we're saying in layman's terms for the people in the world. Belle Biv DeVoe said it the best. Never trust a big butt and a smile. That girl is poison.
Poison. And the Lord told you not to go into no hoe. That's against the laws of God to even be sleeping with a sister that's a hoe. If you know a sister get around, you already know danger is around. You're supposed to run from them type of sisters. These Negroes go jump right into the sisters. Well, now you're going to jump right into jail. You're going to jump right into STDs. You're going to jump into taking care of a kid for 21 years and then finding out the damn child don't belong to you. That's these curses right here in the Bible. That's what happens to you when you disobey the laws of God. You know
right.
it.
It's heavy. It's heavy. You say that. Man. This the crazy. This where they want to start finding God. They go jump in this chick raw, and the next minute they wake up the next day and they joint about to fall the hell off. Now all of a sudden you had an epiphany and you found the Lord. Now all of a sudden now you want to be a holy man. Not even knowing holy meaning separate, but you said they would be friends and stuff, right? People got to understand how real it is right now. Like, quick sidebar: Trump about to drop those stimulus checks. I just read up on it. If you filed in 2021, you be eligible for up to $1,400 on a stimulus check if you filed your taxes for 2021. And I think if you claim zero or whatever or they were saying, you could get that I think it was a home rebate check or something like that. At that back then, it was something called a home rebate check or something like that when you filed your taxes.
So let me get this straight, sir. Trump getting ready to try to use a gift to destroy the heart again. These Negroes is already being destroyed. Thinking Trump is for them. So now here it is. He gonna come back out with the stimmies now.
All right, I'm gonna take the gift and I'm gonna pay time with it, and I'm gonna pay bills with it.
Up, man. I'm still gonna understand that's the damn devil, but
yeah, I'm gonna still say the devil the Bible speaks of. He up here lying to the people, hugging this black woman, putting her in position to help. He about to pass this law to release people that's squeaky clean. What up? I spoke about. He about to pass a law to get people out of prisons that's in there for minor crimes, because that's going to eliminate a lot of people that's been in there for extended jail sentences. You know what I mean? People that was doing life for jaywalking, whistling at white women, stuff like that.
Good night.
Back in the day, you got brothers got life for stuff like that. And he got hung for allegedly whistling at a white woman. You know what I'm saying? So said Squeak Clean said, just dropping off my thumbs down. I stopped wasting your life. Said, the hatefully foolery. Said Jesus is coming soon, y'all. You don't have to be a Jesus to know that. It's the party until Squeaky Cleans jump in the building with your trifling ass. Yeah. I need the thumbs down. That's right. Help me go viral. I spoke you right up and you popped up right on cue like I knew you would. You know what I'm saying? What's the star with that as number one hater? You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love it. Bring it on.
I'm all buddies in the chat, man.
Here's the funny part. Hey, Squeaky Clean, I'm still waiting on you to give me a scripture and a verse. You've been giving me your opinions all day. Now I'm starting with them. You've been giving me your opinions all year. What happened? Give me a scripture and a verse so I could cut the dog piss out of you.
They don't want to do that. You got Negroes that actually know the Bible. I was watching a brother down in Florida cut a damn devil halfway to death when he brought out Revelations 1:13 and 15, the true color of Christ. He said that the Bible don't say that Christ is black. He said what? It said heat of the fine brass as it burnt into a furnace.
Even Vladimir Putin said Jesus is black. And then they started bringing out the Russian icons.
Yeah, even Putin know that. So he's a fool. He said, no, that's talking about spiritual. So now you telling us Christ's feet is spiritual? Damn fentanyl addicts, man.
No, the crazy thing is I guess he gonna say it ain't real when the scriptures say that the earth is the Lord's footstool. Like, you don't understand how big he is when he say that the whole planet is just his footstool, like his step on the earth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If we go to Romans, if we go to the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 12, it says, wherefore the law is holy. Holy meaning separate. Wherefore the law is separate, and the commandments are separate, and just and good, meaning the law, statutes, and commandments of God is separate from the laws of white man and the laws of America. The laws and the commandment, the statutes and the commandments are holy, meaning separate from the laws of the man in the world. And the law, statutes, and commandments are just and they're good, because if you're following them and keeping them, you'll be a just man, a good man. You'll be a perfect man, an upright brother, especially in the eyes of the Lord.
Right.
You got any other scriptures you holding?
Hey, sir, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to this. I still have something in on Deuteronomy.
Go ahead.
All right. All these, it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 16. Curse shall thy be in the city.
Oh,
meaning you don't keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of God, right? You don't know how to you don't believe sex is marriage. So you're going out there and you're fornicating with everybody, making ungodly children. Your ungodly children growing up to be monsters and murderers and criminals. Guess what? Guess what's going to happen now? Cursed are we going to be in this city? You know, a grandmother got shot in the head and carjacked out here in Newark on Thanksgiving.
Good night.
Supposed to be a day where you come together with your family and celebrate that pagan devil holiday. And she out there, she gets carjacked and shot in her damn face on Thanksgiving, right? Because you don't follow the laws of God, curse are you going to be in the city. It's a trickle down effect. Curse shall thy be in the city, and curse shall thy be in the field. So now you're a single parent. You do your husband out the goddamn house, so you cursed in the field now, because now while you out working 2 or 3 jobs and still don't got enough money to pay the bills, who's raising your children?
Right.
They out there running the damn streets doing everything wrong, and you're not even around, but you're at work all the goddamn time. You're at the field. You're out there, you're slaving, you're working, trying to get money to pay bills, and your children are still ungodly, still destroyed. You are cursed in the city. You are cursed in the fields, right? Your children are going to get shot in this city. They're going to be out there getting high on drugs in the city, while you're out there in the field trying to provide and try to make money, and you're still not making enough money. You know why that happened? That happened because divorce is sin in the Bible. Women are not allowed to throw men away. When you threw your husband out the household, dumb, you just gave yourself a trigger of curses. Because let's say, for instance, right, a lot of these heifers claim they threw their husband out because he didn't have a job or whatever nonsense that is. The church got them to do that. We're gonna bang on the church.
The key thing is employment and infidelity. That's their main go-to is unemployment and infidelity, or lack thereof of employment. You get what I'm saying? Like, select if I may. This one sister, she left this man because he fell on hard times, and you know what I mean, he lost his job. And he let her know, like, you know, Bill's about to come around. I'm gonna need you to hold the bills down. Now they're married. She looked at him and was like, "Okay, I'll pay the bills, but you're gonna pay me back, right?" He's like, "No." Like, that's the whole mentality that I'm trying to understand of a woman. Why, if you're married, why would you ask your husband if he's gonna pay you back for something, for bills that y'all equally share?
Right, it's his money anyway.
Right. Like, I don't understand. No, but in today's society, these women have this mentality where your money is our money, my money is my money.
Yeah, okay.
You get what I'm saying? That's the mindset that they have. Whereas really is your money is my money, my money is our money. That's how it's supposed to go.
Right. Like they out of their mind. See, this is another thing these rockheads don't think about, right? Let's say the man ain't have a job, right? While you was out there in the field, he could have been home watching the children, raising the children, right? When you had all the bags in the car, he could have been the one carrying them shits up. When something break around the house, he'd be the one to fix it. When somebody act like they want to break in the house, he's the one there ready to kill and go to jail for you. Having a man is always a great protection. You know what I mean? The Christian church, them disgusting pork-eating Christians, right? That don't know nothing about the Bible. They taught our sisters that feminist movement nonsense. You know, you just go ahead. So that brother that you saw, I just want to know something. The brother that you kicked out the house, he went and found a whole nother woman, had kids, he doing good. Meanwhile, your house is destroyed. Your children dying and going to jail. You in hell. Make it make sense. Did you think what you did, was that a good decision that you made? You are cursed in the city and you are cursed in the field. You gave yourself curses by breaking the laws of God.
And this is where I reiterate this precept right here. It's the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man. It's best if we keep the law, statutes, and commandments and not focus so much on the laws of man, because if we're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, the law, statutes, and commandments is going to teach us how to maneuver around the laws of man and not have to deal with whatever consequences the white man try to bring upon us. Because if we're keeping the laws of God, he's going to keep us safe. He's going to keep us away from whatever so-called punishments or consequences the white man bring out. Because at the end of the day, we can use their laws against them. Hell, they do it to themselves and their own people all the time. Like, so why you want to make a stand now when I do what you've been doing? Like Trump said, oh, you want me to pay taxes? All right, change the tax code. And I know you're not going to do it, because the same tax code that I benefit from, all the people that support you when you running your campaign and giving you those millions of dollars, they thrive off the same tax code. So you're not going to change it. Like, he exposed the government for the charlatans they are, and let them know, yeah, this is how I survived and thrived off for y'all. And I'm going to keep going. What you going to do about it? Trump's trying to fire the judge that convicted him of those 34 counts.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. So So now you can do that now. Now when you're in a position of power, he headhunted. He going after the judge that convicted him of them 34 counts. He's going after all those Democrats that was coming for him, and the Republicans that wasn't on his side, trying to be a day one. He coming for them too. He not playing, bro. He cleaned the house.
Yeah,
that's why he's snatching up people like Elon Musk, putting them in the White House.
Because when you went with Elon Musk, he digging up, finding money from everywhere that these damn Democrats then stole, that even stole all over the place. They was paying people. They had people making 200 bands a year and haven't even been to work in 3 years.
They were allegedly creating funds to send money, governmental funds and taxpayers' money off the places for so-called charitable funding or governmental funding, and they never sent it. They just tucked it in their pocket. That's where a lot of that, because Trump has to understand how does the country's $33 trillion in debt.
34 trillion dollars. You got a country that is, the white man's the devil, man. You know what I mean? And this is exactly why. This is exactly why when they say curse that we will be in the city, because America's $34 trillion in debt, guess what they're going to start doing? They're going to start stripping your children's school education system, just like they did to my son, school education system, right? All the charlatans that's running with these oppressors start stealing money. Trump cracking down now. So what they're going to start doing? They're going to be stealing money from here, stealing money from there, to try to cover up their tracks from all the stealing that they have done. And guess who gets destroyed while that happens?
We do.
We get destroyed.
It's called offsetting debt. They're offsetting their debts. Like, they're pocketing the money that they're pocketing our tax dollars, and they're borrowing against loans that they've already owed on, because you can't tax debt. This is how the rich people stay rich. They just take out loans and leverage those loans to take out more loans, and it's a credit game they play. And they're always going to be in debt, but it's called good debt. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, because you got a such thing as good debt. Like you got good fats and bad fats. You got good debt and bad debt. You know what I'm saying? Bad debt is what we Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians go through every day. Good debt is what the rich people go through, like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds. You know what I'm saying? JP Morgan and them. You know, those are the ones that deal with good debt. They'll owe like 4 or 5 million in debt, but you can't tax it. So as long as they owe you, you'll never be broke.
I understand how we $34 trillion in debt now.
Right, exactly.
I mean, these are all thieves. And if you see the type of the type of devils that we have, that's our slave masters, right? For us to go outside the laws of God and we fall right into these oppressors' hands is absolutely foolish, right? You got a country $34 trillion in debt. You got a community. You got politicians that's robbing the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community blind, robbing it blind, right? All you have is each other. So if you throwing your husband out the house, that's all you got. If your kids ain't being raised up right to be the next generation, they all you have.
Right.
Right? These oppressors, they are sucking us dry and destroying us. All we have is the laws of God, man. This is all we have. This is the only thing that's gonna see us through. It's the only thing that's gonna help us, because at least you know that if you keep in the laws of God, you have the structure in order. If we have the structure in order, we can do business with each other. If you got a family structure in order, no Black people will go hungry, right? A man will be in each house. A brother come see, be like, hey brother, you hit me with some food. You be like, yeah, no sweat, cause you running your house. You're not doing that with no goddamn women, right? Women don't even get along, and they selfish. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, I tell my rib this all the time. I say, you think your friends is your friends when shit hits the fan and there ain't no food in the supermarket and there's only one dang of noodles left, they ain't giving you no noodles. They ain't gonna know how to come together. They're only gonna be thinking about themselves, because that's what sinners do.
Yeah, damn
that's
right.
What sinners do. They think outside of the structure. That's what single mothers and sinners, they think of this selfishness that destroys a nation. Selfishness destroys a nation. Selfishness is not the spirit of the Most High God. You're going to be destroyed in these last days behind selfishness. That pale-faced oppressor, he wants you to stay selfish so he can rack us up back in the $50 trillion worth of debt. What you gonna do? What Trump doing? He pulling all this Section 8 housing. He want to pull all this help. The sister that I'm dealing with right now and shit with the new job is telling me, yeah, they start pulling rent control funding. We thinking, well, what could we do? You know, rent going up to $3,000 a month. They start pulling the funding for that. The pay ain't going up, Officer Ayash. The pay is going down. The pay is going down, sir.
They putting us in a fight or flight situation, so.
Yes, they putting us in a fight or flight situation, and you cannot fight this devil if you don't have the laws of God. You need the Most High God, the Spirit of Christ, and you need these laws. Us breaking these laws, we destroying ourselves. When you throw your husband out the house, you've just thrown away your protection, man. When you decide to throw a sister away and you don't take care of your children, you left your children for dead. That's your future. You just destroyed yourself over selfishness.
Damn right. Well, come on, now. I'm gonna clip it from right here because I gotta start getting ready for council. But we're gonna pick this up tomorrow. You already know, same thing to time, same thing to channel, and we're gonna bring it out with tomorrow's scripture breakdown. So you already know. I'm gonna have those disturbing articles ready on deck. So
I'm gonna send you some too, sir. I'm gonna load them up too. I'm gonna blaze them though. These articles is crazy.
When you get a chance, put 2 reels together for me.
Oh, 2 reels? TikTok reels?
No, just get back to doing your content. You know what I'm saying?
I thought they was all being done on TikTok now, sir.
Nah, it ain't just that. It's because Offset the Cun, he the only one that's still sending me content.
All right, no sweat.
So if you can, drop a reel or two. You know how we do.
All right, no sweat, sir.
All right, with that, to the next episode. Shalom, Israel.
Too long, sir.